Have you ever wondered why we receive Holy Communion, not take Holy Communion? Why the church words it that way? When we're at Mass, we're at a sacrifice of the Holy Mass, a Eucharistic sacrifice, that Jesus on the cross gives of his body for the sake of the church. And if he gives of his body, our only response as the faithful is to receive his body. You think about it at Mass, when you are given the body of Christ, you are given it. You do not take it, right? So if we're receiving something, we should prepare for it. Just like at any award ceremony or a trophy ceremony, a graduation, receiving a certificate, a diploma, a degree, you are going to dress up nicely. As soon as your name is called, your disposition, your mindset's going to shift. You're going to be like, oh, all eyes are on me. I think there's a spiritual correlation that needs to happen when we receive Holy Communion as well. Of course, Jesus and the body of Christ in the Eucharist is not a participation trophy. Merely showing up doesn't always guarantee that we are prepared to receive Christ in the Eucharist. St. Paul is very explicit that we need to examine our conscience before, that we need to look at our souls. Did we commit mortal sin? Did we do things that are not of Christ? That is not with Christ's teachings, that's against the 10 Commandments, that we did something that's bad, we know it's bad, and we still did the bad. Because it's easy. It's easy to fall into, if you're like me, fall into the spiritual peer pressure that I put on myself, right? When I'm at Mass and I'm just sitting there, I see people get up for the communion line and like, oh, I have to do that too. And neglecting the fact that I haven't prepared. I haven't examined my conscience first. St. Paul says that we have to. Whoever therefore eats of the bread and drinks of the cup of the Lord in an unworthy manner will be guilty of profaning the body and blood of the Lord. Let a man examine himself. So eat of the bread and drink of the cup. For anyone who eats and drinks without discerning the body eats and drinks judgment upon himself. So we're called to go to confession beforehand. That if we have grave sin, we are mandated to go to reconciliation so we can reconcile ourselves back to the Father. Because when we receive Holy Communion, we are receiving Christ himself, body, blood, soul, and divinity. And we are called to bring Christ to the world. But just like when we have company come over, we want to clean up the house before and prepare for it. When we go to our award ceremony, we want to dress up and prepare for it. We need to be doing the same when we receive Holy Communion. Prepare for it. So that when we receive Christ in a worthy manner, we can bring Christ to the world.